Afternoon. How are you all? Thank you. We'll go ahead and get started. I want to thank you all for being here today. I'm so proud to stand before you as the president of the Young Democrats of Arkansas, the largest youth-led civic organization in the state. Today, Governor Sanders has flown in Erika Kirk to announce an abuse of her state power. They will attempt to force ideological, partisan political clubs into public high schools and universities across the state. Let's be clear. What she's doing is wrong. We respect the rights of students to organize regardless what political party they're organizing for. When someone uses their state power and resources, however, to try and unfairly influence our students, we will stand up, speak out loudly about that overreach. As opposed to the governor forcing students into Club America chapters, the students that organize with the Young Democrats are doing that of their own volition. I got involved with the Young Dems in Gravette High School when I was just 15 years old. The school pushed back and made us meet with the superintendent of our school district to start a Young Democrats chapter. Despite these barriers, our club in our little Ozark town thrived. See, the Young Democrats of Arkansas have been expanding because students are interested in creating a better future. We don't have any help from the state, and we certainly don't have millions of dollars coming in from Turning Point USA. Students find us and create chapters because they care deeply about the future of our state. And I'm proud to report that starting a chapter with the Young Democrats changed my life. You can see on this map, we are working around the clock to change lives in high schools and colleges and counties across our state. We've seen historic growth in our high school chapter membership, and you'll hear from our College Democrats of Arkansas Chair Zaid Kelly about the record expansion among college students. And get this, for the students interested in a better future for their state, for those that reject the cruelty and corruption of the Sanders regime, and every student that believes Arkansas can do better, April 17th through the 19th is our 81st annual state convention. We provide free lodging and programming to all students who want to come free of charge. You and all of your friends are invited to join us. We are in a fight for the future of the state of Arkansas, and we intend to win. I'll pass it over now to my Vice President, Aaliyah Rowe, to discuss Democrats' vision for the future more in depth.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. I'm Aaliyah Rowe, Vice President of the Young Democrats of Arkansas, and we don't know exactly what Governor Sanders and Erika Kirk will say at their press event, but I'd be willing to bet that nothing they say will make Arkansans' lives more affordable, healthier, safer, or better in any way. For us, it's really about priorities. The Young Democrats of Arkansas have spent the past year organizing, investing our time and energy, and expanding so that we can create real change this November. This past year, Governor Huckabee Sanders has been focused on funneling public money into private schools and pushing to build a near $1 billion prison in between her visits to the White House, Israel, and last year's Super Bowl. Republicans control every branch of our government, both statewide and nationally, and all they have done is waste. Waste time, waste money, waste resources on things that aren't benefiting the average Arkansan. So I have a question for Governor Sanders and Erika Kirk. How is a Turning Point chapter in every Arkansas high school or university going to improve the lives of students? Because children can't learn when they're hungry, children can't learn when they're sick, so what are y'all going to do to address these things? In the last legislative session, Democrats fought to extend postpartum Medicaid coverage to 12 months. Republicans turned it down, and now we are the only state who hasn't done that. Democrats fought for the rights of renters, Republicans turned it down. In Congress, Democrats fought to raise the minimum wage, and Republicans like French Hill and Tom Cotton turned it down. Erika Kirk isn't going to fight for Arkansas families, but the Young Democrats of Arkansas will fight to elect Democrats who will. And let me be clear, Erika Kirk's presence here does not scare us. A potential Turning Point USA partnership with our state does not scare us. We are motivated to get Democrats elected this November and elect people who will actually fight for us and the needs of all 3 million Arkansans, not just a select few. The Young Democrats of Arkansas are focused on fighting for a better Arkansas. An Arkansas where people aren't going into debt for seeking medical treatment and children are not going to bed hungry. This is the Arkansas we should all be striving for because this is the Arkansas we deserve. We are in the fight for our lives. Forget Turning Point USA. This year is Arkansas's turning point. So if you and your loved ones are tired of skyrocketing healthcare premiums, cuts to public benefits, and your tax dollars going to private schools, and a tax on your freedoms and civil liberties, the Young Democrats of Arkansas is the place for you, and we will welcome you with open arms. So now I'll pass it off to our chair of the College Democrats of Arkansas to talk more about the historic expansion we've experienced over the past year. Thank you.
Good afternoon. At the last press conference I spoke at, I stood before you in opposition to Arkansas Access, the governor's most recent education scam that directly attacked students' ability to speak out, protest, and participate politically. It is unbelievably ironic to stand before you now in opposition to her attempt to force partisan, ideological, political clubs into high schools and colleges across our state. Give me a break. So now students get to be politically engaged when they're doing it in the way that the governor finds acceptable. That's just plain wrong, folks. Dozens of students showed up to speak out against Arkansas Access, and I was proud to stand among them as they showed up and made their voices heard. And I am proud to stand before you today to announce that more and more students have been signing up to make a difference here in Arkansas. We've seen historic expansion among colleges, 8 new chapters since last year, including the Clinton School of Public Service, the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, the University of the Ozarks, Southern Arkansas University, Northwest Arkansas Community College, Arkansas State University Beebe, Henderson State University, and as of 2 days ago, when this event was announced, Lyon College. Over 100 new signups have come up as a result. We are chartering chapters at a rate that none of us could have imagined, and we're doing it because of the hard work of the Young Democrats of Arkansas leadership team and the failures that we see impacting our state every day. We see firsthand what Governor Sanders' agenda is doing to our schools, defunding them and starving them of resources. We see what Governor Sanders' agenda is doing to our futures. We can't afford to buy homes. We're being crushed by student debt. And now we could even get drafted into a war that none of us want. None of us, including many conservatives who have spoke out repeatedly against getting mixed up in another war in the Middle East that could last for decades. Robert F. Kennedy Sr. once said, "The youth are the clearest mirror of our performance, and the youth are suffering, and so too is Arkansas and most of America." Students and young people deserve a say in our future. Young people will be the leaders that fix the problems our governor and the extremist legislators are creating today. And to any college student that wants to get involved in that fight for our future, there is a place for you in this movement and in this moment where so much is at stake. And now I'll pass it over to Chair of the Democratic Party of Arkansas, retired Colonel Marcus Jones.
Thank you. So I'll let y'all in on this. I am not a young Democrat. But I am so proud to stand here with these young Democrats today. But I'd like to provide a little bit of background information and then make a commitment to students that are organizing for our party. So in 1945, the Young Democrats of Arkansas was founded by soldiers coming home from World War II. They returned from the front lines of that conflict to go and fight for a future, the future of our state. And that's something I think we can all admire. The storied history of this organization, it goes back decades. And the young people in this room and the young people that spoke here today, they are carrying that torch forward. Now let me provide a little bit more context. The Equal Access Act, signed by President Ronald Reagan, protects the rights of students to organize without discrimination based on political affiliation. That means if a Club America chapter is allowed in every high school and college across our state, a Young Democrat chapter will be as well. And let me tell you this, to those students that are listening, if your high school or college refuses to let you start a club at your school, the Democratic Party of Arkansas has your back, like we always have. Our lawyers will have something to say about that. It is my honor to stand with these young people here today, Because young people, they aren't just the future, they're the present. They're the present of our party. They knock doors, they organize, they show up and they do the work. And their passion and their expertise, it is essential to this party. Young people could swing every election in this state if they turned out and voted the same way older folks do. And I'll be honest, I think our state might be a lot better for it. Arkansas Democrats' message to the young leaders that are watching this right now, we need you. You know enough, you are capable enough, and you are ready to step out on the field and to make a difference in this state. Thank you.
Thank you to Aaliyah and Zaid and Marcus. We are on the precipice of a midterm election that will decide the future of the state of Arkansas. Young people will either decide that future or we will sit on the sidelines. But I have a lot of hope. Because of the effort of the Young Democrats of Arkansas, knocking doors, making phone calls, we flipped a state house seat in North Little Rock just last week, electing Alex Holliday to the state house. And in the last midterm election, 2022, Arkansas was one of only 4 states to increase youth voter turnout. One of only 4. Those other states were Michigan, Pennsylvania, and New York. We were the only state in the South to do that. Something incredible is happening here in Arkansas. Young people are ready for that change, and we're ready to be a part of that change. Not because Governor Sanders told us to, and not through Club America chapters or Turning Point USA, but through the organizing of the Young Democrats of Arkansas. It will take all of us, but together we can win the future that we deserve here in the natural state. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
I guess I'll go first. My rough math, 37 total chapters. Is that primarily currently colleges? Did I hear you say high school as well? Tell me about that.
Correct. We have chapters across high schools, colleges, and then for those who are out of school but have not yet met the age cap, in counties and regions as well.
Gotcha. And briefly, for someone who doesn't know, tell us the values, what Young Democrats stand for.
The Young Democrats of Arkansas are working every day, first and foremost, to increase the civic engagement of young people, 14 to 36, across the state, registering to vote, getting out and talking to voters, talking to their friends about voting. Civic engagement and electing Democrats are our first and foremost priority. We are also working to make life healthier, more affordable, safer, and more prosperous for every person in the state of Arkansas, regardless of their age, because it's not just enough to go out and register to vote and knock on somebody's door. You have to have a conversation at that door with the voter, and that's about affordability, making life better for people, and in Arkansas, we all want to have a future for.
Have there been any discussions with Governor Sanders' office since this announcement, since we're going to know that these clubs are going to be in every school? Have you guys kind of rebutted, like, hey, what about us?
That's what we're here for.
I didn't know if you had a direct conversation with your office or anything.
We have not done any actual outreach to the governor's office. We suspect that we would not, even if we did get a response, because they're seemingly dead set on pushing Turning Point and Turning Point only.
So, with Erika Kirk coming to town, it's a big splashy, sort of maybe even a distraction. How do you guys as Young Democrats kind of keep your eye on the prize, keep kind of a long-term plan in place?
Mm-hmm. Well, since the announcement of this, we've created a new chapter up in Batesville, and we have, this map will probably be inaccurate in a week because we have more people reaching out to us to create more chapters with the news of this. I think this has created a reaction that the governor and Erika Kirk might not want to see in terms of getting people motivated on the other side. And also, we are staying laser focused on that message of affordability, a healthier, safer, fairer, more prosperous Arkansas, no matter what the governor says.
Do you have an idea of how many more Young Democrat chapters in different colleges, high schools, wherever it may be? Do you have an idea of how many more you plan to kind of start up in the next few months or so?
Would you like to speak on the upcoming chapter prospects,
yes, yeah.
briefly?
We are planning, ideally we would love to have a Young Democrats chapter at every institution in the state. Right now, I believe we have about 10 prospective, on the college side, 10 prospective chapters. I can name 3 that are getting pretty close right now. National Park College, Pulaski Tech, which is just north of here, and the law school at U of A. So, thank you.
And as a follow-up to that, we have a very low barrier of entry to create a Young Democrats chapter anywhere. You just need 3 young people to be a president, vice president, and a secretary-treasurer, and for our purposes, that's it. You just fill out the paperwork that we have, and we'll issue you a charter. Now, if they're going to a school that has further requirements for a club, that's on them to meet, but for our purposes, we have a very low barrier of entry to create a chapter of the Young Democrats.
And to touch more on the shift that you guys are seeing, Arkansas relatively red historically, but to see all these programs popping up, what does that say? I know you mentioned it, that there's a big turnout, but for Democrats especially, to see this kind of grow in a red state.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a sign of the times. Obviously, more young people are stepping up, and this is just 11 months of progress. Who knows how many more chapters we will create in another 11 months. But also, the people of Arkansas last week sent a message to the governor in those special elections and the primaries that her agenda is not popular even among conservatives. They see what she's doing as, antithetical to what conservative values are supposed to be, about small government, not overreaching into schools and things like this. And so she's doing whatever she wants to do, and I think the voters are rejecting her, young people are rejecting her, and they're coming to us in droves. You had your hand raised? Someone over here? Any other questions?
If I could just say this, normally I get to talk a lot at these things, and the fact that I'm not, because these young people, our future, are so capable, so focused, so engaged, is incredible. I'm very excited just by the opportunity to be up here with them. Like I said, usually I get to talk a lot. I'm glad not to, because I get to see our future, our party's future and our state's future standing right here.
Thank you.
Typically, do you meet weekly, monthly? How does that work?
All of our chapters usually meet monthly. Sometimes they meet more than monthly. We have monthly meetings, but Young Democrats are always out knocking doors for candidates, making phone calls, writing postcards, but also doing things that embed us in the community, like community service, acts of contributing to where we live in a way that Turning Point doesn't. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.